Hello, my fine people. Today is the day I finally find out who I am. We're gonna do a personality test. Well, I'm gonna do a personality test so that you guys and everyone can know exactly who I am. I've done this before and I think the results was INFP. Okay, let's do this. I'm using the free personality test, which is called 16 personalities. You regularly make new friends. I'll say agree to that. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. You often have a backup plan for a backup plan. No. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. If this is an employer watching and I'm writing my CV, then yes. If you watch my YouTube video, then you know that that's a no. At social events, you really try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. Yes, massively agree. You are very sentimental. Yes. That's literally 100% of my personality. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. I mean, I wouldn't say I feel like I need to use them to sort my life out. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. I'll say that. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Kinda. I feel like when it's people like, for example, people I watch on YouTube and stuff like that, I usually just run up to them and scream at them saying like, I love you, I think you're amazing. I don't know if that counts, but if I'm like genuinely interested in them, then yes. You are more inclined to follow your head rather than your heart. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. 100% agree. I hate living according to a plan. I feel like it sucks the enjoyment out of life. You really worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. Nope. I care way too much about that. I overthink everything. You enjoy participating in group activities. Not really. I'm not really a group person. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. Yes. I am not a leader. And I'm okay with that. I'm happy just to do things by myself and that's it. You are definitely not an artistic type of person. Disagree. You enjoy watching people argue. Disagree. Who enjoys watching people argue? That is like the worst thing ever. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Well, disagree there because I'm literally a YouTuber. Your mood can change very quickly. Massively agree. I can be like super hyper happy and then sad and then overwhelmed and like, it's just so many emotions in an hour. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Yes, I agree. With the way my lifestyle is, I'm doing like 5 different things simultaneously all the time. I just feel like I'm someone who likes working towards deadlines. I'm a very deadline kind of person. So I just like to get the job done, you know? And so things in the way, then I don't like that. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Agree. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. No, I disagree. I like my own time. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. Depends on the decision. See, this is why this is quite hard because it really depends on the decision. If it's something that I feel very strongly and I'm passionate about, so when it comes to like my work and making videos and all that, I am so quick in making those decisions because I know what I want. When it comes to like adult responsibility stuff and things that I'm quite clueless on, and it's like a big decision that's gonna cost me a lot of time, money, things like that, I like to delay that as long as possible. So, if we're talking about the serious decisions, I say agree. You really second guess the choices that you have made. No, I don't think I second guess the decisions I make anymore. When I was younger, yes, but that's because I was making a lot of decisions that were entirely based on what I wanted. So, you really second guess the choices that you have made. I agree. I don't think I second guess anymore. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. No. Massively disagree. I feel like that's probably my strength. You avoid making phone calls. Depends who with. Actually, no, I'm a phone call person. No, I would say I'm a phone call person. So I would say you avoid? No. I don't phone call everyone, but I much prefer talking on the phone than texting. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. I feel like I used to be that person, and now I just do everything by myself because it's easier. And also because like pandemic, everyone lives far away, blah de blah. So I would say not so much anymore. I used to be that person, and now I feel like I've done a 180. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. Yes, yep. I wish I could change that about myself. Certain things I just can't shake, and it's the way. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it is completely their fault. Yes. It's not that I take great care not to make them look bad. I just don't say anything. I just remove myself from the situation. So I just don't comment on that situation. It's like, look, I can see that this is not good. I'm not going to argue here. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to remove myself away. So I would agree with that, actually. Yeah, I would agree with that. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I think it's a bit of both. Because like I am quite consistent with my uploads and I do have to have consistency in my job. Otherwise, we wouldn't get content. Oh, yeah, I am quite spontaneous. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. Yeah. Oh my god, that's so true. I agree with that massively. I do. I don't like it when people like they speak highly of me because I'm like, girl, I can't live up to that. If you knew me, you would not be saying that. And so I do agree with this, Heidi. I think when you put yourself online, I think most people could relate to that because, you know, people only see the best version of you online, right? Because you always want to put out the best side of you. So you think like, oh, if they saw all of me in my day-to-day life and they saw all the emotions and everything, then they're just gonna be disappointed because as humans, we have a bunch of flaws. And I feel like if people saw my flaws, they would naturally be disappointed. So yeah, I agree with that a lot. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Agree, massively agree, which is why I like my job. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical, well, what do you mean by abstract? Question is a waste of time. Disagree. I quite like, if it's to do with understanding how people think, and perceive the world, then I like that. So if that's what that is, then I agree. I do like thinking about those things. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. I think yes. I think I genuinely do feel like I can read people quite well. Like I feel like I'm really good at detecting when someone's not in a good place, but they're trying to cover up and, you know, put on a brave face. I feel like I can read through that really well. I think I'm quite good at reading people. You often feel overwhelmed. Yes. You feel confident that things will work out for you. I wouldn't say confident. I trust. Because I think what's the point in thinking that things are going to go badly for you? Like that's just such a negative way to think of life. I would say agree to that one. I do feel like that. See results. I got the same one again. I literally got the same one again. Okay, so I definitely am an INFP/T. So that means I am 66% introverted, 58% intuitive, 70% feelings, 58% prospecting, and 71% turbulent. What does all this mean? Let's find out. Although they may seem quiet or unassuming, mediators, INFPs, have vibrant, passionate inner lives. Creative and imaginative, they happily lose themselves in daydreams, inventing all sorts of stories and conversations in their minds. Yeah, I think the reason why I've been so fine living by myself for like the past year and a half is because I literally have conversations with myself. Call me crazy, but it keeps me entertained, so I ain't complaining. These personalities are known for their sensitivity. Mediators can have profound emotional responses to music, art, nature, and the people around them. Yeah, you know what? I think they've got me to a T. That's literally who I am. Mediators long for deep, soulful relationships, and they feel called to help others. But because this personality type makes up such a small portion of the population, mediators may sometimes feel lonely or invisible, adrift in a world that doesn't seem to appreciate the traits that make them unique. I wouldn't word it like that, but I do feel like when I'm around people, when I am the most myself, sometimes I feel like I'm too much for people. Like when I talk about something and I'm like really passionate about it and really in the conversation, I can see the other person's response and I can just tell they're not on the same wavelength as me, and I feel like, oh, I'm being too much again. And I think maybe people can be put off by that, or I don't know what it is, but I can just see it in people, and I'm like, so then I just end up just like diluting myself, my personality a bit to make it a bit more palatable maybe. And I think that's probably why I like spending so much time by myself, because I would rather be in my own company and just be 100% myself and be as open and whatever than be around people and feel like I'm too much. Mediators share a sincere curiosity about the depths of human nature. Introspective to the core, they're inquisitively attuned to their own thoughts and feelings, but they yearn to understand the people around them as well. You know what? This is me. This is so obviously me. This is literally me. I mean, I know that's the whole point, but it's just like, it's so obviously me. Mediators are compassionate and non-judgmental. I don't know. I don't think I'm a perfectly... That seems like such a high standard. I mean, I try to be compassionate. I try to be as non-judgmental as possible. I feel like I am quite an open-minded person, but like, listen, I'm not perfect. Do I make judgy comments every now and again? Yes, 100%. Do I, am I always the most compassionate? Probably not. But always willing to hear another person's story. I think, look, I'll give myself some credit. I feel like I can be quite understanding as a human being, especially as I've gotten older. Okay, let me give you an example, right? When someone is horrible to me or has done something wrong, instead of being petty and getting my way back at them or getting revenge or whatever you want to call it, I just remove myself from the situation. I try to understand their perspective and say, look, I see what you're saying and I respect that, but I no longer want to continue this relationship. So let's just end it like that in a peaceful, amicable way. Because I don't want to hold on to that negativity, because I feel like that negativity just weighs you down. You know, a grudge, that's it. I don't like holding grudges on people because I feel like that's doing me a disservice more than anyone else. Because like when you hold grudges, I feel like you're just carrying all that negative weight. So I try to be understanding as to why they behaved the way they did, and I'll listen to them. And I'll be like, okay, if that's your reason, that's fine. That's it, though. That's a relationship mentally over for me. So I'm just going to remove myself from the situation and go on with my life. So let's just go our separate ways. So that's, I would say that's quite understanding and compassionate, I guess. But like, I definitely, with the whole non-judgmental thing, I think generally speaking, I try to be as open-minded as possible. But and TikTok is really good for this. They kind of made me aware of this. I've noticed that I do this thing where, so for example, if someone's walking past, right? And I say, oh, I don't like that top. And then afterwards I'll think, but it's not my top. It's not my choice. They probably like that top and that's why they're wearing it. What does it matter what you think about the top? And that's how I think in my head. And sometimes I feel so bad because I'm like, my first reaction was so negative. Like, why am I judging them on their top? But then my second reaction, once I've taken a bit to process, is me, like how I actually feel about the situation. But I still had that initial reaction. So, and apparently on TikTok, they were like, okay, this is probably completely not true, but anyway, they say that your first reaction to something is what you've been conditioned to think, and your second reaction is how you actually think. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe they're just saying that just to make yourself feel better, but definitely not a saint, I'll tell you that. The amount of times I caught myself thinking like that, I'm like, oh, I'm such a terrible person. For mediators, an ideal relationship of any kind is one in which both people feel comfortable sharing not just their wildest hopes and dreams, but also their secret fears and vulnerabilities. 100%. In fact, I don't think you need to know anything more about me. I think that says it all. I hate that we live in a society that's so closed off and guarded. Because it's like, I just feel so like empty in that environment. Like, I hate small talk. I hate dead-end conversations and stuff like that. Like, I want, if I'm gonna invest time talking to someone, I want to like actually get to know them. But I completely respect why not everyone feels comfortable to open up in this kind of way, but it just sucks because that's how I connect with people. So I either connect with you on this level or I just don't connect with you at all. Empathy is among this personality type's greatest gifts, but at times it can be a liability. The troubles of the world weigh heavily on mediators' shoulders, and these personalities can be vulnerable to internalizing other people's negative moods and mindsets. Yes. Unless they learn to set boundaries, mediators may feel overwhelmed by just how many wrongs there are that need to be set right. Okay, maybe this explains what I meant earlier about the whole empathy thing. So I said earlier how I used to be more empathetic, but I'm not as much anymore. And I think it's because of this thing. I absorb people's energies a lot. And so when I'm around like toxic energy or negative energy or someone, for example, someone as simple as like back in my old workplace, it was just such a negative energy because everyone would complain about the job all the time and they would just complain a lot. And that's their right to do. If that's what they want to do, that's completely fine. But I'm the type of person that I absorb that energy and it just weighs me down and it drains me. I'm the kind of person, which is very exhausting actually, is like if I can sense something's wrong, I feel the need to like fix the situation and be like, oh, come on guys, and like do all of that. And that can get draining so quickly. So I do end up being quite drained very quickly because of that. And I don't know how to switch that off. So again, that's probably why I like spending most of my time by myself, because I'm less drained and I'm more at peace and I'm just more comfortable to be my full self. Wow, this is like a therapy. We love this. So if I'm around negative people, I can get very drained and overwhelmed. But on the flip side, if I'm around positive, open-minded people, then I feel fueled and energized. So it is what it is. Speaking their truth. Few things make mediators more uneasy than pretending to be something they aren't. Yes. Oh my God, this is so true. Everything I've done previously in my life, I just didn't like, and it affected my mental health so much because it wasn't my truth. I didn't want to do those things, and that's why it bothered me so much. Whereas now I'm so much happier because I feel like I'm actually being myself. Like who you're watching right now is me. And maybe that's why I'm so fine being on camera with greasy hair and no makeup and stuff like that, because it's like, well, at least I'm being myself, and that makes me feel better. I'd rather be myself than anything else. It's really not worth it. It's really not. With this sensitivity and the commitment to authenticity, people with this personality type tend to crave opportunities for creative self-expression. It comes as no surprise then that many famous mediators are poets, writers, actors and artists. They can't help but muse about the meaning and purpose of life, dreaming up all sorts of stories, ideas and possibilities along the way. Wow, I am so predictable. Oh my God, I might as well have INFP tattooed on my forehead. Wow, that was very enlightening. I mean, I did get that same result a few years ago, but with this forgetful brain, I clearly forgot a lot of it. And that concludes everything about me. You no longer need to know anything more about me. That literally said it all. Okay, I'll leave a link, if I remember, I will leave a link to the test I took in the description box. Definitely try it out and then comment below what personality you are and a bit about that personality. And yeah, it'd be really cool to get to know everyone. INFP/TA. Let me know if you're the same as me actually, and then we can just like, I don't know, join forces and cry about our feelings. I don't know. Do what INFP people do. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Maybe I'll see you soon. Maybe I won't. We never know on this channel. As always, don't get attached. Love ya. Bye.